A pleasant welcome to all my dear 7th standard students. Today we are going to see the second part from your respiration chapter. So now we are going to see the respiration in plants, and also we are going to see the difference between the aerobic and anaerobic respiration in plants, and we are going to see the need for growing plants. Now we all know that all living things need air to breathe, right? The same way we can derive, the respiration has some characteristics, right? So in that we can see the food is used up, and the second one, the energy is produced, and thirdly we can see the exchange of gases takes place. So all the living things need oxygen. So they take in the oxygen and they give out the carbon dioxide, right, where we can get the energy from the food that we eat. So all living things get they produce energy from the food they eat, right. Now as we all know that animals, of course human beings, so we take in oxygen through our nose and the lungs help us to respire, right. The same way in plants we can see, so we can with the help of bronchioles, alveoli, and with the help of the trachea, with all these things the respiration takes place in the animals as well as in the human beings, right. But in the plants, so we can see there is a difference between the respiration. I mean there will be some differences in the plants. We can say during the daytime they take in the carbon dioxide and they give out the oxygen, but this is not come under respiration, which is known as photosynthesis, right. So here we can see during the daytime, so the plants, the leaves take in the carbon dioxide which is present in the air and they give out oxygen, right. So this is known as photosynthesis, but whereas respiration is different. In respiration the plants take in the oxygen and they give out the carbon dioxide. So with the presence of light they take in the carbon dioxide and they give out oxygen, but without the absence of light the plants take in the oxygen and they give out the carbon dioxide, right. Okay. So this is the difference between the respiration and photosynthesis, right. So we can see in plants, we can see there is during the daytime photosynthesis takes place as well as respiration takes place, but more than respiration photosynthesis will occur maximum, and in the night time the photosynthesis will not take place and respiration takes place, wherein the plants take in the oxygen and they give out the carbon dioxide, right. So we all know that there is a special structure that is present in the leaves which is known as stomata, right. So this stomata helps into exchange of gases. They take in the oxygen during the respiration process, but during the photosynthesis process they will take in the carbon dioxide. So here you can see during the night time they will respire, they will take in the oxygen, so with the help of the stomata. So now let us see, there is a structure called stomata that helps in to take in the oxygen. So here you can see during the photosynthesis process they will give out oxygen and they will take in the carbon dioxide. So here you can see this opening, okay, and this opening you can see a seed bean like structure which is known as God cells, right. So this God cells are surrounded by a cells called subsidiary cells. So this whole structure of God cells, subsidiary cells, and the opening which is known as, this whole structure is known as stomatal apparatus. So in the stomatal apparatus you can see the opening, once it takes the gases, during that time the stomata widely opens, and when it releases the other it may be during the respiration it will release the carbon dioxide, again it will widely open and it will liberate the carbon dioxide during the respiration process, right. So, this happens in the plants, right. So, with the help of stomata, the plants take in the oxygen and they give out carbon dioxide during the respiration process, okay, right. So, next we are going to see what are the need for a plant. So, we need to plant more trees because when we compare the night time and the daytime is more than the night time. Why? Because then only the plants can able to produce more amount of carbon dioxide. During the daytime, so the plants take in the carbon dioxide and they give out more amount of oxygen, right. So, now we are going to see the difference between the aerobic and anaerobic respiration in plants. So, in plants even there are some organisms that take in the food from the soil and they derive the energy from the food. They break down partially, the food is broken down partially and they get the energy from the food, okay. So, this type of respiration is known as anaerobic respiration, where some plants may be like fungi. So, the fungi plant, they use the food and partially they break down the food and they will get the food is broken down into ethyl alcohol and thereby they will liberate the carbon dioxide and water. So, this type of respiration is known as anaerobic respiration. So, what is anaerobic respiration? Without the presence of oxygen. So, during the anaerobic respiration, the oxygen will not be present. So, without the presence of oxygen, so some plants like fungi, they break the food molecules and they get the energy from the food that is available, right. But what is aerobic respiration? So, aerobic respiration means with the presence of oxygen. So, when the oxygen is available, the plants completely they will break down the food molecules and they get the energy from the food. So, the food is completely oxidized with the help of oxygen and thereby the plants get the energy from the respiration process, right. So, this is what the difference between the aerobic and anaerobic respiration, right. Now, let us see what is the need for plants to grow, okay. So, what is the need? So, the next one, need. What is the need? What is the need for growing plants? So, as we all know that plants also need oxygen, right. So, during the respiration process, plants need oxygen, but only in the photosynthesis process the plants need carbon dioxide. But as we compare the timing, so the daytime will be more than the night time. So, thereby the plants use the sunlight and they do the photosynthesis process more than the respiration process. So, thereby they can liberate more amount of oxygen by taking more amount of carbon dioxide, right. So, that is why plants are very important to give oxygen. Of course, all the animals and human beings need oxygen, right. So, plants give oxygen to animals and human beings. So, only plants can change the carbon dioxide that is present in the air into oxygen. So, that is why we have to plant more trees, right. So, we have to plant more plants. So, thereby the oxygen level in the air increases. So, thereby all the animals and human beings get high amount of oxygen where they can able to survive in the world, right. So, in this class you have learned what is the respiration process that takes place in the plants, right. So, go through the lesson, go through the video and go through the structure of the stomata. So, thereby you will come to know what is the exact function of the stomata, right, and also go through the difference between the respiration and photosynthesis, right. So, hope you enjoy the session. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.